Hey, hello. Welcome to the part 4 of Design with Code, the final part. If you're new here, this is a course about code for designers. Start from the beginning at the designwithcode.dev. You made it. And if you've gone through the first 3 parts, you now understand more about web and code than the vast majority of designers. And this is not an exaggeration. You know what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript do. You know how components work. You've fetched data from an API, you've built SVG assets, added visual effects, created animations. You can operate on a code base and understand the shape of it. If we think about what is happening today, AI can generate code faster than any human can type. And that's not the hard part anymore. The hard part is knowing what to generate, judging the output, and refining it until it's right. And this is exactly what the first 3 parts prepared you for. Without understanding the medium, you can't evaluate what AI produces. You can't tell the difference between well-structured code and a mess. You wouldn't know when something is a routing problem, or a styling problem, or a data problem. You wouldn't know why a component should be split into 2, or why a particular CSS approach will break on mobile. With that understanding, AI becomes an amplifier. You direct it with precision, you review its output with confidence, and you refine with taste. That's a completely different experience from just hoping that AI will get it right. One question that you will keep coming back to is, how much do I let AI do? What should I actually write into this box? And honestly, the answer is, as usual in this industry, that it depends. There's not a single right answer. And if you're throwing together a quick prototype to test an idea and the code will never see production, let AI do the heavy lifting. You don't even have to look at what it produces. You just look at the result, see if this is, what you aimed for, and if the idea works. But if you are contributing to a real product, something other people will work on, something that needs to be maintained, you want to stay a bit more hands-on. And that doesn't necessarily mean hands-on with the code and reviewing everything line by line, as I think we are getting far over that phase. But you will definitely want to be hands-on with the right methods, with the right practices, and with the right approach towards how to work with code in a specific environment. So even if the process changes, you will still want to review what AI gives you. You will still want to understand the approach. And you will still want to commit in small steps so you can undo things if things go sideways. Over time, you will definitely develop an intuition for this. The more you work with these tools, the better you get in sensing when to trust the output and when to dig in. There's no formula, just experience and judgment. And that judgment is something you are just building now. So here is what I really want you to internalize. You've maybe been working with AI code for the past few months or weeks, and you've been designing probably for years. Probably you have some sense of what your taste is, and you know what good looks like. You know when spacing is off, you know when transition feels wrong, you know when visual hierarchy breaks down, you know when a color palette feels muddy, when a layout isn't briefing, when an interaction is confusing. And yes, AI can produce a component in 2 seconds, but it doesn't know if that component belongs. It doesn't know if the animation timing feels just right for this particular context. It doesn't have taste. Maybe it can make things mathematically consistent with what was made before, but it will not have the actual human judgment. And that is exactly your edge. And this course gives you the vocabulary to exercise this edge in code. You can now look at what AI generated and say, the structure is fine, but the spacing needs to be 24 instead of 16. The border radius should match the card component, and this transition needs an ease-out curve instead of is in-out. That kind of specific informed feedback is something only a designer who understands the medium can give. Alright, so in this part, in the exercises that follow, you will put all of this together into practice. You'll start by exploring the AI tools landscape, the online tools for quick prototyping, the desktop tools for real work, and everything in between them. This way, for everything that comes after, you'll know which tools to reach for. And then we will fill some important gaps. In the previous part, I guided you through building 2 projects step by step. And we already covered a lot of ground, but there are some popular advanced concepts that we haven't spoke about. Things like state management, client versus server components, routing patterns, and that you will encounter in any real code base. You will get a conceptual map of these patterns in this part, and you will learn to recognize them when you see them, and also how to work with them with AI. After that, you will learn how to work with component libraries, tools like ShadCN, or larger actual design systems like Material Design or Carbon. In practice, almost nobody builds every button and dialog from scratch. Understanding how these libraries work and how they relate to design systems is a huge part of working effectively in real code bases. And it's an area where your design background gives you a clear advantage. And then, last but definitely not least, we will go deeper into AI workflows. You learn to prompt like a designer, not just typing text prompts, but using annotated screenshots, Figma exports, even hand-drawn sketches. Your visual communication skills are a prompting superpower that most developers or other people in this industry do not have. You know enough to read code now, and this is the part that tells you how to judge it, when to accept it, when to push back, and when to start over. And finally, you will build a complete feature end-to-end, from an idea to plan to implementation to deployment. That exercise simulates what your real workflow will look like going forward. So this is the part where everything comes together. The fundamentals you built, the taste you already have, and the AI tools that multiply your output. All the exercises, AI tools, prompting, code review, the project, everything is available on designwithcode.dev. Now, let's make it real.